Authorities say more arrests are expected in connection with the death of a Louisiana college student. 23-year-old Caleb McCrae is charged with manslaughter and criminal hazing in the death of 20-year-old Caleb Wilson. Police say Wilson died in an off-campus incident where he was allegedly punched multiple times in the chest while pledging Omega Psi Phi fraternity. Wilson was a junior from New Orleans, majoring in mechanical engineering at Southern University. McCrae's attorney saying in a statement, "I maintain my client's innocence and urge the public to withhold rushing to judgment until all the evidence is heard." Joining me now to discuss this is journalist Roland Martin, host of the daily digital show Roland Martin Unfiltered. Roland, thank you for being here with us. According to this arrest warrant, Caleb Wilson and 8 other pledges were lined up at a warehouse off campus where they were each punched 4 times with boxing gloves. According to police, McCrae allegedly punched Wilson 4 times in the chest. Wilson collapsed and became unresponsive. Police say this was the result of hazing. Explain to us what hazing is and why it can sometimes become violent and physical, even when people know about the dangers.
Well, hazing varies, and so it may involve drinking, it may involve forcing somebody to run, doing various things. You've had cases where people have been forced to consume massive amounts of water. We see this with historically white fraternities, historically black fraternities. The problem that I have is, I have despised hazing my entire life. In April, it will be 36 years, since I finished pledging Alpha Phi Alpha, historically black fraternity. And the pledge process was changed because of this. And it is sinister, it is evil. And the problem is you have individuals who have this mentality that in order for you to earn these letters, then you need to be beaten, you need to be made into a man. And so these things have been happening for years. It is almost bankrupt our organizations. We've had to pay out millions of dollars in settlements to fraternities and sororities, and it's high time it ends. This is a young black man who goes to an HBCU. My understanding, his father was a legacy, meaning he was a member of the fraternity, and he's returning home in a body bag. I'm sorry, that's not brotherhood. That's not manhood.
Roland, explain why there is so much secrecy around the pledging and initiation process for so many Greek organizations.
Well, first and foremost, again, and people don't understand, historically black fraternities and sororities are far different than historically white fraternities in terms of, so for us, it's a lifelong commitment. And so when you talk about when you pledge, it's all about how do you have a line. That's those when you pledge, you have a line. And then how do you establish a brotherhood connection with your line? So when you come into the fraternity, you understand what that means. And so those things are indeed important. The problem is when you have individuals who are 18, 19, 20, and people who actually graduated, who have this notion that I need to physically beat somebody in order for them to be accepted into my fraternity. And then you have this also the psychological thing of, well, you're called a paper member, or you skated into the fraternity, meaning it was easy for you. And so it's the peer pressure. And I've made it clear, I don't give a damn what you think. The reality is what makes a great alpha, like a Thurgood Marshall or Dr. King or Jesse Owens, is not what they accomplished in college, it's what they did after college. And so that's the problem. We have individuals who are committing heinous crimes. Yeah. And these individuals, if they're found guilty, should go to prison, every single one of them, because that young man is now dead. He will never even be called a brother because he never finished the process. And that's what's so shameful about this.
And Roland, I mean, we've heard about these cases before. We've heard about plenty of them in the news before of these hazing cases that have resulted in death. They've been addressed on campuses around the country for years. What more needs to be done?
The only way you deter this is if you send people to prison, because every organization has changed the process. You have to sign agreements, and you name it. It's very clear. You have risk assessment. It's all of those things. But you have people who simply say, I went through this, so therefore you must go through this. And it's wrong. And it requires current members to say, no, you're not going to do that. You're not going to come to our campus. I don't care if you're a graduate of this chapter. You're not going to do those things. And this is the end result. And so then I hear members say, well, Roland, you're so critical. Man, we should keep this in-house. Well, guess what? When you kill somebody, it's no longer in-house. And so I don't want to hear that crap as well. You need members who have a zero tolerance policy and say, I'm not going to allow you as another brother to put our fraternity or sorority in jeopardy because you want to be an idiot with your actions. And so it is heinous, it is evil, and it must stop. So yeah, this man, if he's guilty and the other ones, all of them should go to prison because again, that family has to now bury their son and he will never be able to go on to do great things because of a stupid ritual of punching somebody in the chest. Nothing about that creates brotherhood. Yeah. Nothing about that creates manhood. It's wrong.
But there is now a grieving family. Roland Martin, we appreciate you for joining us to talk about this morning.
Support the work that we do. Join our Bring the Funk fan club. You heard what we just talked about there. Folks, I can't reiterate this enough. Listen to me clearly. I cannot reiterate this enough. When you've got technology companies running scared, when you've got legacy media not doing their job, when you've got Black-owned media that is disintegrated, now is more than ever for us to have independent media that cares about the truth, that is willing to say what needs to be said. So when you support Roland Martin Unfiltered, this show, when you support the Black Star Network, you're not just supporting me, you're supporting the other shows. Our goal is to add 2 more shows this year. We want additional shows. We want more weekly and daily shows because we want to be able to speak truth to power. We want to be able to say what is necessary where other people are scared. And when you are scared, when you're looking over your shoulder, oh my God, that advertising contract is not going to come in. Well, guess what? A lot of these major ad agencies, they're not even supporting us anyway. You know, in 6 years of doing this show, Group M hasn't done a damn thing with us. Publicis hasn't done anything with us. You've got Horizon, you've got all of these folks, they haven't done jack. And so we are calling it like we see it, and we're speaking truth. And unlike some of these other so-called progressives and people who believe in truth, I'm not running around trying to kiss MAGA ass and kiss Trump's ass. I won't be going to Mar-a-Lago, not for a damn thing. And so this is about us being able to speak truth. So when you support this show and this network with your resources, that is exactly what is happening because we are trying to build something that is bigger and broader, and actually it has the courage to say what needs to be said, even when it makes other folk uncomfortable. If you want to contribute giving Cash App, use the Stripe QR code. This is it right here. And if you are listening, simply go to blackstarnetwork.com to check it out. Also, if you want to see your check and money order, some of y'all old school, we understand that. See your check and money order to P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C., 2003 7-0196. PayPal, R. Martin Unfiltered. Venmo is RM Unfiltered. Zelle, Roland at RolandSMartin.com, Roland at RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. And again, folks, we've got some 4 million social media followers. If only 20,000 of our fans contribute at least $50 each, which comes out to $4.19 a month, 13 cents a day, that's $1 million. That allows us to be able to continue to build, to add these shows and do the work that's required. So your support is needed. So please join our Bring the Funk fan club today. If you've not already joined, if you have given to us in the past, please renew your commitment because it's important that we support Black-owned media because Black-owned media matters.